Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest live stream here today. My name is Jim Dubois, and for those that don't know me or are brand new in the group, well, number one, welcome. Welcome to this Facebook group, Million Dollar Washers. Here is a platform where I love talking about strategy, how to take your company to the next level, how to break that half million, $1 million mark, and systemize the whole thing so that you've got something that you can be really, really proud of in this business building venture. So, welcome to this live stream. Glad to have you on board. Quick little bio on me for those that may not know me. I own a company called Squeegee Pros. It's a multi-million-dollar window cleaning, pressure washing company. We're in residential, we're in storefronts, we're in large commercial, and we've dabbled with high rise, but that's not really our forte. I started a coaching company called Window Washing Wealth in 2017. It is a niche specific high level coaching company only for those that are window cleaners and pressure washers. And that's where that word niche or niche comes into play. And it's designed to scale your business beyond $50,000 a month, beyond $100,000 a month in revenue to separate you from the day to day. So I do these live streams every week. You know, building a $1 million empire, well, it's not easy. But it's also not hard when you have the right answers, when you have the right systems and the right strategies in place, put in motion in the right order at the right time. And this is what we do inside my coaching program. So, over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about profit acceleration strategies using a 5% rule. And there's a little series of live streams that we're doing with this particular topic of profit acceleration. So, glad you're here. Quick recap. Week one in this series, we talked about lead generation strategies. We talked about inside that live stream, building a marketing arsenal to increase lead flow. We talked about A/B testing specific variables to optimize your lead generation. We talked about measuring your marketing, very important. And we also talked about creating a marketing calendar to know what to do, what and when, right? So last week, we talked about increasing your lead to job conversion. And some of the bullet points to that were how to elevate your phone skills. We talked about bringing enticing offers to the table, incentive to wait programs. And we talked about how simply a 5% increase in lead to job conversion percentage, well, how it can add another $100,000 in annual revenue if you have, say, 6, 7 leads coming in per day, and how powerful that can become. So today we're going to talk about elevating the average sales value using very strategic techniques. And when you increase your average sales value or the customer job average, that average ticket price that you get, well, it can lead to a substantial boost in revenue when it's done right. So average sales value is the price you charge for the services that you sell and the amount of money that you walk away with after completing the job. So on this live stream, I'm going to go into 5 strategies to help you pop revenue. Who's ready? I know I am. So, all right. One strategy, so understand this, one strategy will have revenue impact, but all 5 working together, well, that'll be a game changer and be that small hinge that opens a big door. And as you implement, watch your numbers come alive with 25%, 50%, even 100% increases in your customer job average ticket. We do this all the time in my coaching company for clients that we're serving. In fact, I was talking to a potential client yesterday. His conversion is 40%. That's leads to jobs. His conversion was 40%, getting them on the calendar. He has 50 leads a month coming in on average, and his customer job average was 300 bucks. Do you want to know how much money I found him using two strategies? So he's doing $200,000 a year in annual revenue. I found him another quarter million in annual revenue to put on top of his already 200,000 he's doing. And this is not uncommon. We do this all the time. This is how we've got clients that are doubling their revenue in 1 year, 2 years, right? So as we go into these strategies, I want you to know that consistency is key. So let's jump right into it. Let's go right into strategy number one. And you might want to write some of this down if you're able to. So the first one, pretty simple, pretty obvious. Many don't do it. Raise your prices. And it starts by being what we call a mystery shopper, doing a competitor analysis in the marketplace that you serve, right? And there's a whole dynamic behind how we do that. But we do this every year. Competitor analysis, and we raise our prices every single year. And it's a strategy worth embracing. Why do we raise our prices? Well, got to keep up with inflation, right? Seems like a constant and consistent increase in costs, bleach to pay to equipment in general, insurance. So there's reason just with that alone. Sometimes we do it just because. I'll tell you, we did a price raise. I remember this very clearly. It was July of 2021. We raised our prices across the board 25% just to see what flack we would get. Nothing changed. It was kind of cool, actually. So, point here is don't be the Motel 6 operator in a race to the bottom of the pricing barrel like so many do just to get jobs. It'll be a disaster for you in the long run if you're looking to build an empire that we're talking about. You want to become the Ritz-Carlton with higher prices, but you need to have the value components to support it. So there's something you'll hear me talk about quite a bit. There's an outside perception, right, in the marketplace on how people see you. So brand becomes very important. But this is also tied in, it's also connected to your inner reality, right? That's the engine behind the scenes, like the systems that you have to be able to bring these value components forth to support the higher prices that you're going to be engaging in here. So with that, you have to also identify your customer avatar. Here's where I did it completely wrong. When I started my residential division, if it was a 1,500, 2,000 square foot house and it had cars with blocks on it, I still was trying to get those people to let me clean their windows. I didn't really understand the market that I was serving back then. But when you begin to identify that customer avatar, well, they're willing to pay it. And we know this because we do this every single day. So a 5 or 10% increase in price on, say, a $300,000 business, well, that's going to yield you another $15,000, $30,000 in revenue, just like that. And it didn't cost a thing. All right. So that's strategy one. Strategy two, it's a word we talk about all the time, but how many really go after it? Upselling, right? What is it? What is upselling? Well, it's adding on top of an existing service with a more expensive option. Like good, better, best would be an example of that. Maybe you're cleaning the outside windows and you want to upsell them to an in and out window cleaning. Or maybe you want to add a screen washing to the window cleaning that you're doing. These would be examples of upselling. But if you give the customer an educated reason why this upsell is important, as the authority, right? We are the authority. Well, it's going to drive the sale. We have two particular strategies that we use in my company that really drive this home. See, we are the expert. window cleaning, pressure washing. We are the authority. And when it's presented this way, well, it's hard for them to say no. So again, we are talking about strategies to increase, to elevate your customer job average, that average ticket you get when you're at a home doing services. So there's opportunities here galore for you to do this. One, every time your phone rings and someone's inquiring about you providing services for them, there's opportunity for upsell. When you're on the job site, every single time you're there, there's opportunities for upsell. After the job, there's opportunities for upsell. It's as simple as this: if you ask, you shall receive. All right, think about it this way. What if 3 in 10 said yes? And let's say you're doing 100 jobs a month and the average upsell was $300. Well, you just added another $9,000 a month or another $100,000 a year in your business. See, incremental increases have huge impacts. Everyone with me so far? So, strategy number 3, hey Jared, good to see you, man, is cross-selling. Cross-selling is the process of offering a customer services or products that are compatible with the ones that they've already purchased. So let's say they are wanting a gutter cleaning, right? And you're gonna serve them gutter cleaning services. Well, the cross-sell, for example, would be gutter guards, right? That's a cross-sell. There's more value in terms of revenue in a cross-sell because it's a whole new service offering. And again, if you support it with value and you support it with why it's important, as the authority, again, us being the experts, there's a percentage that will say yes. Why? Because you asked. So how aggressive are you with this? Are you as aggressive as we are at Squeegee Pros? Because we are incredibly aggressive with upsell and cross-sell. And again, you can do this on the phone. Every call that comes in while you're on the job site, after every job you do, we call it an after the job call, and there's strategy behind how we do that. But if you ask, you're going to receive. I mean, think about it this way. What if 2 in 10 said yes? Well, if you're doing 100 jobs a month, right? And the average cross-sell, right, a whole nother service is $500, you just added another $10,000 a month or another approximately $100,000 a year. So can you see how these incremental increases start to have huge impact? I mean, we've talked about 2 strategies, and depending on the size of your company, of course, we just found another couple $100,000 in revenue, and that's with just a few jobs happening a day. So the 4th strategy is a little more advanced. This is bundling your services. So again, we're talking about increasing that customer job average, that average ticket while you're there at the job. How do we make this happen? So bundling your services is simply the process of grouping together certain services to create packages, right? Which are then sold to our clients. And when you do this, you completely eliminate the biggest complaint us business owners have: competing on price. Because bundling removes price from the equation by creating an apples to oranges comparison. That makes sense? You have to remember, our customers, that customer avatar, well, today they shop more on value, not so much price. And unfortunately, we're just lousy at conveying our value proposition, our unique selling points, the things that make us different. So therefore, because of that, this being lousy at conveying our value propositions, well, what happens is price is the only thing that the consumer shops on. It's the only thing they know how to shop on because you've done nothing to separate yourselves from everybody else. So price becomes that one value proposition left to the consumers. And this is rampant in the industry. So when you take what we're talking about here with USP and value propositions, you can start to change the game. So when we look at bundling, prospects, well, they'll pay twice if they believe they're going to receive four times. They'll pay twice the price if they believe they're going to receive four times the value. So think about this for a second. Which services could you bundle together in your company right now to create a higher package for your prospects? And in this example here, there's no discount needed because there is no singling of per service pricing because here we're bundling it together. So what do I mean? Let's say you're going to bundle the following: a house wash, a window cleaning, and a gutter cleaning, and it's packaged as one price offered in this way. See how that works? There's no singling of individual services because it's been bundled together. And watch what happens when you begin to do this. So there's another option here too. You can develop promos, you can develop sales, you can develop incentivized offers that allow a bundling of your services to increase the perceived value of the offer. So follow me here on this. It doesn't mean you're going to lower your price, but it's a perception that you're creating. For example, how many of you have heard of the BOGO Ho, right? Buy one, get one half off. Or schedule a house wash and this week only get an exterior window cleaning for 25% off. These are examples of bundling. Or buy two services and get the third for 50% off. Now you can adjust the numbers however you want to so that there is no discount. It's just the perception that you're creating because of the bundling offer that you're putting out there. So Christina, who's president and part owner of Squeegee Pros, she's a master at bundling programs in some of our internal marketing that we do. And I mean, it's almost as simple as anytime she wants to pull in more revenue, she just turns a bundling campaign on. So if our calendar is light, she just turns it on. If we're anticipating the summer lull, right, August, September, in a lot of places around the country, she just turns it on. Wintertime blues, we have strategies with bundling programs and other things that we do, and she just turns it on. And it starts to soften the blow of those downturns in the seasons that we anticipate. So strategy number 5 is suggestive selling. Now this might be one that maybe you're not really familiar with. This is simply taking your services that you offer that are outside of your wheelhouse of your core service offering. So most of us are window cleaners, pressure washers, probably gutter cleaners, but there's other services that you can add in that are more outside your wheelhouse of the core services. You got to be careful. They got to still connect together. You don't want to be that jack of all trades, master of none, right? So this is important. So what would be an example of this with suggestive selling would be holiday lighting, right? Christmas lighting. This is a outside of the wheelhouse service offering, but it connects well with what we do as window cleaners and pressure washers. Glass restoration, right? Removing lime and calcium deposits from the glass. We have, in my company, we have 5 alternate services that we offer and that we use for suggestive selling opportunities, and they are very, very profitable. And again, it helps to smooth out those slower times in the year when we want to present them. So can you start to see how implementing these strategies can start to increase and elevate your customer job average, especially when you start putting them together? It's incredibly powerful when you really start putting attention on it. The bottom line is, if you ask, you will probably receive 20 to 40% of the time. And when you start adding this to your existing current reality that's happening with your business right now, you're going to start seeing, and I know you will, you're going to start seeing 25, 50, even 100% increases in revenue. We've taken clients over the years that were at $250, $300, $350, $400 customer job average. And because of some of these things we're talking about, now they're at $700, $800, $900 customer job average. And that is incredibly impactful when it comes to annual revenue as you start adding it up. This cumulative effect of these strategies can significantly start to open a big door of revenue for you when you put them in motion. So we have all of this completely built out for you in my Window Washing Wealth Accelerated Growth Coaching Program. And it's funny because most don't give what we're talking about here really a second thought. And they dismiss the value that supports it to really grow their companies. And think about this. What we've talked about here today, it doesn't cost anything. Zip, nothing. And it's almost like an internal marketing game that we're playing to see how much revenue we can pull in, right? And it doesn't cost anything at all. And what's hurtful for so many of us that are listening to this, because you're not putting attention on these things, well, you're losing tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars because of it. So don't let this be you. Start turning these things on. I say this all the time. If you want to be like a Fortune 500 company, you got to start thinking like one, right? And these strategies will help to begin some of this transformation for you. If you have questions on what we're talking about here today, if you have an interest in working in a client coaching relationship with us here at Window Washing Wealth, Pressure Washing Wealth, put the word coach in the chat, and we'll reach out to you to schedule a free strategy call. And I'll go deep into this stuff with you. And this is important. If you know of anybody that might benefit from this group, Strategy Talk and Shop, please take a moment and share this Facebook group link with them. So, hey, thank you for being a part of our show here today. I appreciate you taking a moment to listen into what we have to say, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.